If you want to buy a new gaming PC build for under $1,000, that's going to be perfect for both 1080p very high FPS and also 1440p resolution, this is going to be the perfect video for you. I promise you that by the end of this video you will have a brand new system for around $900 that will achieve very high FPS at 1080p both in high demanding games and esports titles like Fortnite or Valorant, and also at 1440p. On top of that, this system is very reliable, every component is compatible with each other, the aesthetics are top tier, and it has amazing airflow. Now the link to this exact same PC will be down below in the video description. My name is Valentino. With that being said, let's start. So first, let's start by speaking about the CPU. The CPU is the brain of the computer, and it's also quite important when it comes to your FPS, especially in high demanding CPU titles or more high demanding games that still require a lot of CPU usage. For the CPU, I went with the Ryzen 5 7600. This CPU is going to be amazing for those type of CPU demanding games. On top of that, you can pair it with high-end graphics cards in the market without bottlenecking them, and is very upgradable over time because we are on the AM5 platform from AMD. I will be talking about that in just a second, but all you have to know is that this CPU is not going to bottleneck your graphics card, will achieve high FPS in high CPU demanding titles, is upgradable over time, and on top of that, it is very power efficient. Now for the CPU cooler, I picked the ID Cooling SE214XT. You do not need an aftermarket CPU cooler, but considering that this one is only about $18, it has RGB, it is white, so really nice in terms of aesthetics. If you want an all black build, don't worry about it because I will be speaking about an all black PC with the same components by the end of this one. Another quite important component is the motherboard, and I went with the B650 Pro RS Micro ATX motherboard. This one has amazing aesthetics, good VRMs, so once again the temps for your CPU now are going to be amazing. Also, if you want to upgrade your CPU down the line, let's say you want to upgrade from the Ryzen 5 7600 to the Ryzen 7 7800 X3D, which is one of the fastest CPUs in the entire market when it comes to gaming, you can just drop the new CPU in this motherboard and you will not have to replace your motherboard. Then let's talk about the memory. This is quite important, and I went with 32 gigs of RAM, DDR5 memory at 6000 MHz CL30 timings. This is a very fast memory kit, all white of course for the all white build, and having 32 gigs of RAM is going to be ideal for both gaming but also content creation, streaming and productivity work in case you want to do any of those tasks while gaming. Keep in mind that having more than 32 gigs of RAM is not going to give you any benefits for gaming, and you will not be hitting higher FPS by having more memory. And trust me when I say you want to save up that money from 32 gigs of RAM to 64 gigs to put it on your graphics card, and that's going to give you much faster performance. The graphics card is the most important component for gaming, and that's why I went with the AMD RX 6750 XT. This graphics card is ideal for 1080p very high FPS. In fact, in high demanding titles, you can expect over 100 FPS on average, which is a very high number considering the type of games that are being tested. And then on esports shooters, you can expect well over 240 plus FPS on average, even 360 plus FPS, so you can buy a 360Hz 1080p monitor and take full advantage of it. If you want to upgrade to 1440p down the line, you can expect 70 plus FPS in high demanding games, which is awesome considering the price for this system, and the 6750 XT is very capable of 1440p resolution overall, and you get 12 gigs of VRAM, which is ideal for 1440p resolution gaming. Now, if you must have Nvidia, then I do recommend you getting the RTX 4060, but you have to keep in mind that if you get the 4060, you get 8 gigs of VRAM, which is fine for 1080p, but if you want to upgrade to 1440p down the line and play the most recent high demanding titles, you will need at least 12 gigs of VRAM. It really depends on the type of games that you play, but if you don't require more than 8 gigs of VRAM, the 4060 is a very good option, especially if you prefer Nvidia. And I have tested the 4060 myself, and you will be able to play at 88 plus FPS on average and over 400 plus FPS on average when it comes to esports shooters. So even though this graphics card is slightly slower than the 6750 XT, I know for a fact that some of you prefer Nvidia over AMD, and that's why I am giving you this option. Then in terms of storage, you get a 1TB SSD. Then for the case, and the case is actually quite important, I went with the DIY ARGB Q3. This is an amazing looking case with 3 pre-installed fans, plenty of airflow, and in my opinion it's one of the best looking ones in the entire market for the price. Right now going for just $62. And last but not least, we have the power supply. Here I went with the NZXT C750. This is a 750 watt power supply that's A tier rated, meaning that it's going to be the best quality out there. So as I said before, here you get a system that's upgradable over time, very nice for 1080p and 1440p resolution right now, has plenty of airflow and beautiful aesthetics, and it's also reliable with quality components and a quality power supply. Now the total price for this system by the time of filming is $926. You go with the AMD 6750 XT, if you go with the RTX 4060, it's going to be around $920, so about the same price, and you are getting the best of the best in my opinion for under $1,000 for 1080p and 1440p resolution. Keep in mind that the price might be different when you're watching this one, so I do recommend you checking the latest prices and availability from the links down in the description, and I will also leave a bonus system which is the same exact PC but all black, and the price is going to be very similar at $925 by the time of filming. Remember, every component is the same, but it's going to be the black version, and for the case I picked the Montec Air 100 ARGB. I have this case myself, it has 4 pre-installed fans, plenty of airflow, I never had any issues, really good high quality case and airflow. In the video description you will also find my personal PC help in case you want me to help you out. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, we'll see you on the next one.